everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to crochet these Kindle sleeve covers for your Kindle. It's my Kindle Colorsoft, but it should fit the Kindle Paperwhite as well as the other smaller Kindle. This should fit a device that is roughly 5 by 7 inches. So what you're going to need is worsted weight acrylic yarn, a 1-inch button, as well as thread and a needle to sew the button on, and we will be using a 6.5 millimeter or K crochet hook. To start, we are going to make a slip knot and chain 35. You could go ahead and pause the video, and once you've completed 35 chains, we will continue on to round 1. Once you have 35 chains, we are going to join to the very first chain. And we will start working in rounds. So once you've joined, chain 1, and we're just going to single crochet all the way around, 1 single crochet in each chain. So by the time you get all the way around, you should have 35 single crochets. So you could go ahead and pause the video here, and once you've completed that first round, we will go on to round 2. Here I am at the end of the round, and I'm just going to join to the very first single crochet. And now is a good time to slip this over the device you're making this sleeve for, just to make sure it's going to fit before you go any further. If it is too small, you can go back and add to the beginning chain in multiples of 2. So we started with 35 chains. If you need a bigger, you could do 37, 39, 41, so on and so forth to fit your device width-wise. For the next round, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And going forward, we are always going to turn our work after joining in the round. So here's our chain 1. And the first stitch we are going to work into is right here. So there is a space here, but we're going to work right into this next one here. And we are going to work just 1 single crochet. We're going to skip the next one, and then we are going to make the bean stitch. So for the bean stitch, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook into the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to do that one more time, yarn over, insert our hook into the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop. And when you look at all the loops on your hook, you should have 6 loops. And then yarn over, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1, and that is a bean stitch. And we're going to be doing that all the way around, and we're always going to skip the next stitch after the bean stitch. So we have a bean stitch, skip, the next one, bean stitch. So insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook into the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and do that again, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, 6 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 6 and chain 1. Skip the next stitch, and I'll show you one more time. So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook into the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook into the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 6 and chain 1. So go ahead and do that all the way around until you have just 2 stitches left at the end of the round. Here I am at the end of the round, and since we are turning our work, sometimes it is a little difficult to see all the stitches, especially if you're not used to identifying all the stitches, especially when it's all kind of jumbled like this. But here there's 2 stitches left, and then in the last stitch we are going to make a single crochet, and then we are going to join to the first single crochet, which is right here. Here's the chain, and then here's the single crochet. So if you need to, grab a stitch marker just so you can mark the first stitch of each row, and that will allow you to easier find that first single crochet so you know exactly where you're joining. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then we're going to make our first single crochet right here. So we're not going to go into this very first place, we're going to go right here. And if you want to grab a stitch marker, this is where you would mark your first stitch. So you could place your stitch marker here, and then once you get all the way around, it will be marked, and then you can see where you need to join in the round. So for this row, we are also just going to do the bean stitch, and then this will be the row that we will repeat until we get the height that we need for this Kindle sleeve. So we made our first single crochet, and the bean stitches are going to go right into these spaces into the left of where the bean stitch is below. So right in here in those spaces. So the first bean stitch will be right here. And the next one is going to be here. So just to the left of the bean stitch in the previous row. And this is also why we're turning our work, because we are doing the bean stitch. And if you were working in rows, it would require you to obviously turn your work after each row. So go ahead and just go all the way around and make your bean stitches. And here I am at the end of the round. There should be 1 stitch left, and you want to make a single crochet. And if you are using stitch markers, then that first stitch should be marked for you, and we are going to join, chain 1, turn our work, and we're just going to repeat the last round. So single crochet, not in this first space, but the second space here. We're going to do the bean stitch all the way around, and then when we get to the end, single crochet in the last space, join, chain 1, turn our work, and just continue on doing that until you have 21 rows. Or if you're making it for a longer device, then you could keep going until it fits your device. But I did 21 rows for this side. So go ahead and complete the height, and then I will show you how to close up the bottom and then make this closure. Here I have 21 rows finished. I joined to the first stitch. I'm going to chain 1, and there is going to be a seam here, and I'm going to fold this in half. We're going to close up the bottom of this and make sure the seam is just lined up on the side there. And we have our chain 1, and we're just going to single crochet both of these sides completely closed, so it will make our bottom edge. So just go through both sides and single crochet them together. Just like that. And again, we're just going to do that all the way across until we get to the other side. Once you get all the way to the end, just chain 1 to fasten off. and then we can just fold it inside out just so the seam is on the inside. You could weave that little tail end as well. And then weave this in. And then next we just have to make the closure with the button and the chains to go around the button. So first we are going to attach our button. I have a 1-inch button and some needle and thread. And we're going to sew this about 6 rows down from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about there in the center. Just like that, and I'm just going to go around a few times to make sure it's extra secure. And since these stitches do have a lot of gaps between them, just make sure you're not going through the same space, or else it won't actually sew the button on, if that makes sense. Just like that. And then now that we have our button on, we just need to do a couple chains to make the closure. So for the chains, we're gonna flip this over and we're just gonna go right in the middle, basically where our button is. You could count. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and go here's the middle, so I'm going to go a little bit to the right. Attach my yarn by chaining 1. And then I'm going to chain 20. And then I'm going to attach it a stitch over, chain 1 to fasten off, and then I'm just going to check to make sure it fits. It's like that, and then I'm just going to weave in my ends here, make sure it's all tight and secure for the loop. And that's it. That's how you make a crochet Kindle sleeve. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something new today. And if you enjoy crochet tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel.